So we're back here on 970 WFLA. Whether you're thinking about selling your home, upgrading, buying a home, obviously most people that are selling their home have to live somewhere else, so they're going somewhere else. Big mistake that a lot of home buyers make and home sellers make when they're evaluating the purchase after they sell is evaluating commute times and some of the due diligence that I think that gets missed when someone's buying a home. You know, we were out at the Housing and Education Alliance a couple of weeks ago, and I actually had a chance to speak to some of the people in the classes there that are prospective home buyers. And one of the things I spoke on were some tips for helping you to compete in a bidding war type situation, which is something that happens a lot in our entry-level homes right now, our 200 and 300,000 price point homes. It seems like there's a lot of bidding wars and competition, so I gave some tips on how to compete against that, but I also gave some tips of due diligence that a lot of home buyers miss. Every year we get home buyers come back to us 6 months after buying a home saying, you know what, this one ain't it for me. I need to sell it and go buy something else. The commute's too long. Because people will make the mistake of driving out to the house on a Saturday morning when it's 10 a.m. and the sun's shining and there's no cars on the road, and it's 7 minutes from Google Maps says it's 7 minutes to their job. And then when they show up after they close on the home, their first Monday morning commute in rush hour traffic takes them 52 minutes, and they realize that they made a mistake. So the first, one of the tips that I strongly encourage is really honing in on that commute time. So if that commute is really important to you, go to that home on a Monday morning, on a Friday morning, on a Thursday afternoon, and go from work to that home and drive the commute and see what it's like. I can't tell you how often people make the mistake of saying, oh, it's only 7 miles, that's going to be easy. And then they figure out that at 4:30, the Veterans is a parking lot, and it takes them 52 minutes to get to their home, and they hate their commute every day, and then now all of a sudden the whole idea of being a homeowner is ruined for them because they're spending so much time in a car.
Just had a coworker of ours go through the same thing. She bought a home about a year ago, and just realized that the
commute is just
a bear. It's just too much, and so she just sold it.
People make that mistake. They don't evaluate it. They don't measure it, and it's the same thing goes for checking out the house at different times of day and at night. There have been people that have bought homes that realize that maybe they're homebodies. They don't like to go out and party, and then they buy a home in a party neighborhood. And every Friday night at 8 o'clock, it's the music's blaring, and the street is filled with cars, and they're on the party street, and they got 3 kids, and it drives them crazy. So not only do you want to check out the commute time, but you want to make sure to go to the home at different times of day. Go on a Friday night, go on a Saturday night, spot check it a couple of times. You're usually going to have a period of due diligence with a contract. I mean, every contract's going to have different terms and conditions, but you're usually going to have a little bit of period of time to vet the home out. The one challenge that sometimes people will have is they don't have enough time to vet the home out with a market as hot as it is. So you certainly want to do it during the due diligence period, when you're going through inspections and things like that. Every contract language is different, but some of the contract language simply allows you to cancel for whatever reason you want during an inspection period. So you don't always have to give a specific reason. You don't have to say, oh, the house next door is a party house. I mean, generally you can. Again, terms and conditions of every contract are going to be different, but a lot of the standard terms allow you to cancel just for any reason during that inspection period if you're unhappy, including that the house next door is a meth house or a crack house or a party house. So
that's a little different. But if you cancel a contract today based on the neighbors being partiers, loosen up a little bit.
Well, maybe I don't know. It depends on how much they're partying and what they're doing. But definitely check out the commute time. A lot of people make that mistake and they don't check it out. It's a big issue. I will say that I feel like there's a lot more people working from home today than there were years ago. You got a lot more of that going on. Obviously, that kind of eliminates the whole need. But the other thing is, even if it's not necessarily a commute to a job, maybe it's a commute to a babysitter, maybe it's how close certain restaurants are. I mean, we've had that happen where people have bought out in East Hillsboro years ago, before it was as developed as it is now, and they're like, I got to drive 30 minutes to McDonald's. This isn't going to work. I need my Big Mac,
That's not the case anymore.
So not really anymore, but drive those commutes. Don't just look at a map, go through the traffic, see what kind of construction's going on. Take those steps to really know what you're getting into. So